welcome to this video, the special edition videos of the Falcon.
By special edition,
I mean ones that are not numbered issues.
Today we're going to be looking at a lighting kit. Surprise, surprise.
It is the final lighting kit I'm going to do on the Falcon, obviously. And I know that I've been teasing for a while now what I am actually doing. So I can come clean now and say that I am putting lights in the interior of my Falcon. Now, the reason I'm doing this so late in the game is because I didn't have the confidence to do it earlier on. But I just thought, you know what, just do it. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity to build a Millennium Falcon. So just try it. Just try and add lights. You know, if you fail, at least it's the interior and no one needs to see it. No one has to open it. But hopefully I won't fail. So that is why I decided to do it now. And so let's get started by looking at the corridors. Welcome to the massive destruction that is the Falcon corridors. The reason that I had to take everything apart for the corridor is purely because of ease of this build. So I put it in the freezer overnight and then I just took off the top of the corridors. So they've got no tops. These are the tops, and it is the tops of the corridors that you need. So all the floor pieces, they can be put aside for now, or the archways, or the connecting hoops, all of that. And we are just looking at the top of the corridor here. So once again, the lighting kit is supplied by Chris Holland. Thank you very much again, sir. And it contains the following. It contains these see-through parts here, which are the features of the interior lights. Very nice in there. It also features this dimmer switch here. So we've got the connectors for the bulbs that I'll show in just a second. This connects into the circuit board, and then we have a dimmer switch for the corridor lights, which is very, very important, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. And then we get 3 sets of bulbs, different lengths to fit around the corridor when it's all installed. They are green, which is the color of the corridor lights in the films. I know it may look white, but they are actually green lights. So that is the lighting kit that you get with this kit, should you want to go for it. Okay, so the first thing you do is you have to drill the holes out of the upper part of the corridor so that you can fit the bulb and the interior work in. As you can see, I've already drilled a hole there. It's a 3mm drill bit that you need, and you drill a hole and then you'll put the LED through the back like that, and then you put the fitting through the front like that. Now the fittings first of all need to be painted, so I'm just going to go away, take them out of the pack and paint them up, and when I've done that I'll be right back with you. And here they are, all painted up, looking fantastic. Just a little bit of a dark grey wash on them really makes them pop. You don't have to paint them. It's a personal choice. I like having the dark with the green glowing through it. I think that will be a nice aesthetic. I'm sure that they are just solid green in the films, but I really like how this is going to look. The next thing to do is drill the holes to put these into. So let's go ahead and do that now. And here we have the piece with the holes screwed in. Now I have deliberately done fewer holes than is recommended by Mr. Holland. This should have 5 holes for 5 lights, and this one should have 2. The reason that I've deliberately done less is because I think 5 looks a bit messy. Personally, it's not accurate, but for me, I think 3 will suffice. And also I wasn't too confident with the drill, so I didn't want to make 5 holes and then just risk just having a line because I messed up. So 3 for there, 1 for there for me. And the next step is to attach all the painted on parts, all the painted parts, all all the add-on parts, or painted I should say, like I've done here. So I'm just going to go and do that now. And it's just very simply a case of painting up the part, and there's a sticky out part on there which will fit into the hole nicely like that. Just show you the parts again. Sticky out part there, flat part there, push into the hole like that. And here we have the corridor part all put back together with the lighting fixtures intact, and looking very good, has to be said. Even without the light showing through, it's nice to have these lights finally on the Falcon. So the next stage to do is, of course, add the lighting. Make sure you count the bulbs before you drill the holes. I'm using fewer holes than is recommended, so I know I'll have enough bulbs on the lighting kit, but it'll be the worst thing in the world if you drill too many holes and don't have lights for them. So make sure you do that. Also, I just want to say I'm using this small part to show you what to do on this part. Make sure you apply it to the whole of the corridor. Obviously, I won't be showing you how to build that. It's the same technique as this one, just on a larger scale. So I'll stop waffling and carry on with attaching these lights. So this part here has the connecting part to the circuit board, and then it has a bulb there, a longer wire, and 3 bulbs here. So the bulb on its own I'm going to attach into this hole here, which will be for this light, and it very neatly fits into that hole. And then of course you just get your glue. This is the wrong glue. This is the right glue. Okay, and then you just put glue in the hole like that. I also put a little bit on the bulb, wherever it is, just to make sure it's secure, and it dries see-through so it won't affect the lighting or anything like that. And then you just pop it in there, hold it in so it sets a little bit like that. And then what I do is I get some epoxy sculpt, or you can use the green stuff or any kind of modeling clay, and I'll just pop it around here, and this helps keep it secure and also helps prevent light escaping from this part. And then I just seal it again, which is possibly unnecessary, but it makes me feel a bit better, in a bit more glue to make sure that it all sets with that bulb in place. And you do the same with these 3 bulbs, so let's go ahead and do that. So this brand new glue that I got not long ago is already starting to play up. As good as the brushes are, and as much as I have championed them on this series of videos, they do dry up if not used properly, which I don't think you would get if you use just a regular squirty one. But I prefer them, and I feel like I'm a hairdresser making conversation because, doing 3 at one time was possibly a bit ambitious, especially when the focus is all wrong. Let's just do 1 at a time. Push the bulb in. It's not setting, so I'm going to get the epoxy sculpt here straight away. There we go. Just push it round. Oh, it's pushed out the hole like that. And that is secure. On to the next one. This one fits into the hole a little bit better. There we go. I also didn't drill that last one enough. Epoxy sculpt. Wrap round like that. And then the third one, let's see if the hole is big enough. It is. So there we go. And the last piece of epoxy sculpt. Wrapped round like that. Seal it all with a bit of glue. Not much at all. And there we have the completed corridor part. It looks very, very bizarre with all these wires coming off it, but it will look fantastic. This wire is a little too long. It won't be if you drill all the right holes, but for me it is. You just got to be careful that when you attach it to the Falcon that the wires don't get trapped or caught in anything. Obviously, I think that goes without saying. So that is how you do the corridor lights. I'll show you what they all look like, including the main corridor parts, near the end of this video, because now we're moving on to the rest of the interior lighting. So you remember my nice finished interior that I finished way back in the 20 issues or the 30 issues, along the time, a long time ago. It was about a year and a half ago I finished the interior. Well, this is what it looks like now. I have had the workman in, and it looks like a mess, but I promise you it won't look as messy when it's all finished. So as you can see, I have drilled a hole here, 2 holes here, and a massive gaping hole here. Now, the reason for all these holes I'll explain first. This hole here is to do with the switch that we got with the corridor lights. That is the dimmer switch. Now, if you remember, it was gold, and now it looks like this. I have painted the switch so that it looks like a barrel that could be transported in the hold of the Falcon. And the reason for the dimmer switch is that when it is all installed and it will pop through, let's just get the focus right. It'll pop through just like there. I won't put it on the hole, but it'll look something like that. There will be some lighting, there will be some gaps in the corridor part of the Falcon when it's finished. And to prevent kind of any light seepage from the corridor lights, Mr. Holland has very cleverly come up with the dimmer switch so that you can turn it all the way down when you don't want green light shining through your Falcon, which I guess will be all the time apart from when you're showing off the interior. And the dimmer switch does look like a barrel when it's all done. So the idea is that you drill a hole, you pop the dimmer switch through the hole, attach it to the corridors, and then you can turn it like that to control the corridor lights. Ingenious, absolutely ingenious. I love it. Now, the reason this one isn't attached to a switch is because the first dimmer part didn't work. So he very graciously sent me through a replacement, and I used this one as a barrel as well. So instead of just having the one barrel, I will have 2 barrels, so it won't look as odd as one barrel sticking up. Obviously your dimmer switch should work first time, so I recommend going on to Shapeways and getting some Tony RR 308-bit barrels and paint them up so that you have some barrels here if you do want to do this, so it doesn't look like one single solitary barrel on its own. But it is just an ingenious idea that is how you control the lights of the corridor so that there's no light seepage when it is all finished. These 2 holes here I'll come back to, and when I say come back to, I'll show off on the final Falcon video, okay? Because I need to give some kind of lighting stuff on the final video, otherwise it wouldn't make sense. So come back to that one in just a moment. And this hole here is for all the fibre optics that will be attached to the Navicom. So this is what my Navicom looks like at the moment, full of fibre optics. I have used a variety of different sizes of fibre optics. These small ones here are 0.25, these are 0.5, and this one here is 1 millimeter, I should say, they're millimeters. And this hole here is also 1 millimeter. Now, when I put the fibre optics in the cockpit, a few of you were wondering, well, how exactly did you do it? So I'm going to show you how I did it now. First off, you cut your fibre optic to length. I always make them really super long so that I'm not left wanting when it is all finished. And you just push the fibre optic through the back of the piece like so. So it comes out like that. Again, I always give it a bit of an extension again so I'm not left wanting or it doesn't fall out. And then what I do is I use the same method as I did with the lights of the corridor. I attach it with quite a bit of glue just so that it starts to set quite quickly. And then for the security of setting, I use some of the epoxy sculpt. So just mesh up the 2 parts together and I'll just push it at the back like that. So that is all installed. Now, I leave these parts hanging out so that I cut them to size only when it is attached properly and finally. And I won't be able to do that till the hold is attached, so I'll leave them hanging out like that. Also, what you do is you get some black paint and you paint the see-through parts of the fibre optics so that the lights from the bulb don't interfere with the lights with the colour that it's meant to be, if that makes sense. The 0.25 stuff actually comes with black tubing anyway on the eBay site that I used, the eBay seller that I used, I should say. But yeah, you get some black paint and you paint them up like that. So I'm going to go away and do that now. I know, it's quite a leap. The last time you saw me, I was just about to paint the fibre optics black so that the light didn't get mixed up. And now you're seeing this, the interior all connected to the Falcon. The reason for that is because this has been very frustrating. I am not one for electronics. I never have been. And as I said at the top of this video, I'm giving this a try because it's on the inside. It's all the interior work, and it's stuff that you won't see when the Falcon is in the table that I'm planning. And so it's just to see if I could do it. And I succeeded in parts and I failed in others. It is not exactly how I wanted it to come out. There are parts that are missing, but I think on the whole, I'm okay with it. I've made my peace with it. So this is what it looks like without any lights on and with the roof off. Now I'm going to give you a quick guided tour of what I have actually done and where I've failed and yeah, things like that. So let's do that. Okay, so I apologize again because it's dark and grainy. My camera isn't that good to pick up low light stuff, but this is what it looks like with the lights all on. Now just to explain where I'm unhappy, you see the LEDs flickering on the navcom. I had a lot more LEDs in that. In fact, I can see another one has gone. I did about 10 of the LED strips. All the 0.25 ones snapped off when I got to put it on the Falcon, and so I'm just left with the 4, which is better than none, and it does add a bit of life to it, especially with R2 there guarding, but it's not exactly how I wanted it to come out. Another thing as well is if you look just here, that is where the cotton bud light is, and I did have 2 bulbs, bright white, ready to shine onto the hold to give it a bit more light, so that when you open up the hold you can see it, and there's a natural, or not natural, but there's a light there to show it off. The bulb was too fiddly. I managed to break one of them. I managed to install one, but when I plugged it into the circuit board it became very dim, and when I tried to fix that, that snapped. So I am now lightless. What I have done is I've managed to move this green LED, which turns off apparently at the power of my finger, to shine green into the hold. That's the next problem that I've had. The switch I managed to knock out a bit, so it is now very loose. So it is very temperamental, hence why all the lights in the corridor have gone out. I am exasperated because I had high hopes for my interior and my lighting skills, and once again I'll just remind myself that I can't do lights. I don't think I think I'm too heavy-handed. I don't think I've got the delicate touch to do fiddly lights like the LEDs. So I'm happy with how the LEDs came out. I'm disappointed about the white light, and the corridor lights are temperamental, but I have to say these lighting kits are absolutely fantastic. All of Holland's lighting kits have been spot on beautiful, spot on perfect, and it's my execution that has let them down, and I am sorry. So go get them, really do go get them, because they add so much life to the Falcon, and with good execution they'll bring so much more to life. So I'm just going to finish this video just by showing off a feature which does work really, really well, and that is the dimmer switch barrel. So if I just move the barrel this way, the lights go dimmer, and then I move it back the other way and they come back on. And I really, really love that feature. I really love how that has come out. I think it's a very, very clever thing to do. So thank you very much, Chris Holland. So the reason I'm whispering is because the kids are in bed and I still haven't quite finished this video, as you can tell. So sorry about that. Very sleepy end to the video, probably quite fitting because it has been quite a long video to make. But with all its trials and tribulations, the purpose of an add-on is to add features that the kit doesn't give, and now I have lights in my hold and lights in my corridors. So I am very, very grateful, Mr. Holland, for this kit. Thank you very much. And actually it's turned out really well. Not having the white light in the hold really creates a nice green glow in the hold, which reminds me of my time playing Star Wars The Old Republic. Now my MMO days are gone. I'm whispering because kids are asleep. As people with kids know, there's no time for MMOs. So to have that kind of reminder of the ship from that game, to explain, my first character was a smuggler, and on his ship had green lights, and the green lights were part of the ship, and you travel a lot in that ship and it becomes a big part of the game. So to have that reminder every time I look at the interior of the Falcon now is a nice touch. It's a happy accident, I should say. So I am very happy with how it came out. And it solidified to me that I was right to have a go. I was right to try it. Even though I knew it would be tough to light the interior, I was right to have a go because it looks fantastic. And I'm very happy with how it came out. So I encourage you, if you're umming and ahhing, just do it. You won't regret it. And even if you do, you can sit back when the Falcon's all finished and look at it and go, do you know what? I tried everything. Rather than, I wonder what would have happened if I'd done this or done that. You wouldn't have to worry about that anymore. Because you did it and you tried and you failed or whatever. But you could be successful. And whatever the outcome, you will have a own bespoke Falcon that is yours. And I think that's fantastic. Right, I'm waffling and I'm probably going to wake up the kids. So I need to go now. I'll see you next time for the next of the issued videos. Only 3 left now. It's getting near the end, folks. So I hope you join me then. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.